And a warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your favorite podcast, episode 66 of the Hcast. We've got a bit of an anemic panel going on today.
Yeah, well, we're limping on one leg today, but it's the good leg.
We'll still crack out a fantastic podcast for you guys. Don't you worry about it. And we do have, hopefully, Tom joining us a little bit later. Unforeseen situations have led us to a short panel. But hey, look, we're still guaranteed to bring you your favorite podcast with all the good laughs and good fun and critical commentary as always. So fantastic episode today. We're going to be talking about Bob Iger, Disney, the culture wars, bit of a hypocrisy going on there. We're going to be talking about Ahsoka. I know not everyone wants to hear about it. I get that. We're going to talk about our review, but then we're going to shuffle on to some rumors that have been circulating about bits and pieces. So that's always fun. Deadpool 3. There's some confirmation about rumors, so that's interesting. We got some bits and pieces to talk about.
I've been hearing lots of rumors on Deadpool 3.
No, lots of rumors.
Who's going to be in it and all kinds of
Well,
stuff.
that's kind of what we're going to get to. It'll be interesting. So, ladies and gents, hit that thumbs up button on your way in here. Please do. It helps you guys hopefully get notified of things. It's not realistically for the video itself because this gets unlisted. So it's not for the stream, but it's hopefully to tell YouTube to notify you further down the line. As we regularly get demonetized here, this is my preamble. I've got to say this stuff. As we regularly get demonetized here on the show, please do chuck in a buck via the super chat function. That's a great way to help the show out. And with respect to that, you'll also get your question answered pretty much immediately. We'll spend some time on it as well. So that's a really good way to join in the conversation, but also steer the conversation because it can be about anything you want us to talk about. So obviously, do that if you want. Also, I will say, ladies and gents, if you want to become a member, please do. And everyone's channels will be linked down below in the description box. All the regular people that pop in on these podcasts, their channels are linked down below, along with a second channel. I've not plugged the second channel that much. I do need to do that. Yeah. So these streams don't stay up on the main channel anymore. They get clipped and put in its own channel now, basically. So you'll find that link down below. It's called Mistakes Reviews Live Archives. Make sure you are subscribed down there because, of course, leaving a long live stream up on the main channel actually impacts and hurts the channel. So that's why we take them down and I put them on their own channel and then clip them all. It's a great deal of work, but it's to give you guys the best bits if you've missed the whole show and you just want to breeze into specific topics, basically. Anyway, that out of the way. How you doing, Nick?
Doing good. I was up super late last night. So for those of you that don't know,
basically.
Yeah, well, not really. I mean, I'm okay, but I was up late last night. So like this weekend, Tokyo Game Show is going on, and they dropped a ton of information and demo gameplay of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and it's my most anticipated game. I'm more excited about that game than anything Star Wars coming out, and Star Wars is my number one IP, and I'm more excited for this game. So I was like sucking up all the news and checking out the demo gameplay that's going on out there. So fun stuff.
Awesome. I've been busy prepping for my first day at university tomorrow. That'll be fun. I mean, it will be fun actually. Yeah, so I mean, it will be fun. I sort of joke about it, but it's yeah, I've got to wake up at 5, be at the door just before 6 o'clock. Got to drive to London and then drive back, and then I got to do it again Saturday, and then I got to do it again Sunday. So I'm gonna be tired. I'm gonna be really, really, really tired.
How long is this gonna? How long are you gonna be going? Like 2 years?
5 years.
Oh, 5 years.
Wow. Yeah. So the reason why it's so long. So one, it's part time, but the full time course is only 4 years as well. And basically, you've got to have clinic time because I'm training to be a medical professional. So you have to have actual in clinic supervise. You literally have your own patient list. So, you know, you're literally working with patients. You've got to be supervise, you know, and have your clinic time for extra. That's what adds the extra time to
Yeah.
the master's degree. So yeah, pretty full on, but it should be good. So I'll be floating around London every other weekend now, which will be interesting. I haven't been in London for a long time. I used to live in London, so it'll be interesting to be back there. And also as well, it's kind of just around the corner from where I used to work. So it'll be interesting to see how it's changed in the like 7 odd years since I was around that area. So yeah, interesting stuff. So we
Sounds
actually
like
have our. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, it sounds like it's gonna be a lot of hard work.
Yeah, I think it will be. But I also think it will be really beneficial. So, I mean, look, you know, it's a means to an end.
Yeah.
Don't freak out, ladies and gents. I don't want to give up this. It actually is an industry where I can work part time, um, and then still do this all at the same time, and you know, benefit my life and tenfold, basically.
Mm,
So it actually means that nothing really will change, but my life will be significantly better, which is yeah, good. So obviously I've
yeah.
still got to get through the 5 years, but when I've got through the 5 years, yeah, pretty good course of employment on the other side, and pretty good um, sort of life balance, I think.
Mm.
So should be pretty
And,
decent.
and who knows? Maybe you'll meet Mrs. H during this whole process.
Dear, oh dear. Right, let's shuffle on to our so right. I'm tired, guys. Forgive my sort of stutters and stuff like that. Um, with our first super chat of the evening, but it also ties into one of our topics. So we're going to wrap this into one thing, all in one go. No, I am tired. Let's review Ahsoka, and then we'll get to this.
All
What
right.
did you think of Ahsoka?
Oh, jeez. So I thought it was the best, worst episode of the season.
I'm not on the ball today. Jesus Christ. Anyway, you see, there's the best, worst episode of the season. Right. Okay. Why?
So the up to this point, it's like I like spending more time with the bad guys in the show. Well,
God,
like
wasn't it good?
when the bad guys are on screen and I'm seeing what they're doing, I'm actually somewhat interested in what's happening. When I see
Mm.
Sabine or Ahsoka or any of the good guy people on screen, my interest is just gone. So
Yeah.
we got the introduction of Thrawn. You know, it was cool to see him, even though he came out with a little bit of the dad bod, rocking the dad bod for Thrawn, which is kind of out of character for him because anybody that knows Thrawn knows that he is very disciplined. He takes care of his body. He stays in good shape. He's always
Mm.
been real thin. And people are using the excuse that, you know, he's been stranded in this other galaxy for all this time, and he's older now. That's a lame excuse in my opinion.
I
But
think the age might be an okay excuse because it's surely he's supposed to be like 70 odd. Isn't he supposed to be like 70 odd?
no, I think he's supposed to be like 60.
But they stranded there for 30 years, so he must have been in his 30s then, surely.
I think he was in his late 20s.
Okay. Yeah, so
I
60,
don't
70.
know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I would have to go back and look at the
Mm.
timeline and all that sort of stuff, and
Yeah, that's all part of it anyway.
it's all out there. But
But
anyway, anyways, one of the most frustrating things was, so you know, the end of last episode, I thought we might get a lot of people's questions answered on like what actually happened. Did Ahsoka die? Was that a
mm,
force vision? You know what? Apparently, it looked like she changed Ahsoka the White. You know, she was like smiling and seemed to be a little bit less like depressed sounding.
chirp, yeah.
Yeah, but then when we get to the beginning of this episode, she's just right back to same old Ahsoka from before the last episode.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And they don't even reference or talk about anything that happened in the last episode. So that was kind of irritating. And then the funniest part, the cherry on top of this stupid sundae is
Mm,
when they let Sabine go and say, Ezra's out there, you go find him. And she just happens to go in the right direction on this planet. And within a few minutes in the time of the show is probably like maybe a couple hours. She comes
mm,
across the rock Ninja Turtles and ends up finding them. Like I was like, that is a Guinness Book World Record of somebody finding a needle in a haystack on a
mm.
planet. And how could Thrawn not have taken him out or found him that easy during this whole time, which also didn't make sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I'm.
there were several frustrating moments like that, and then when she finally meets up with Ezra, it's like, finally, after all this time, I finally found you. That whole moment fell flat. It
Mm,
had like no emotion. It wasn't like a big moment. There wasn't like tears and like, oh my god, like I'm finally am seeing you. We're finally like together again. It was just like, hey, like, what's up?
mm.
It felt flat. It didn't feel earned.
Yeah.
It felt like they just put in a cheat code for this episode, and everything was just freely given, and none of it felt earned. Uh, and that's pretty much overall the episode. I don't know how I feel about the stormtroopers with the gladiator face helmet from Roman.
Enoch.
Yeah. That kind of pulled me out a little bit, but it is also like, it's more of like a nitpick. It's kind of cool. I just don't know if it really fits in Star Wars. So yeah, overall I gave the episode a 6 out of
Okay. All
10.
right. Well, settle in. I'm going to review it now as well. No, right. So, yeah, you're completely right, and some of your thoughts mirrored mine. If you were to watch the last episode and this episode back to back, Ahsoka the White, as she was supposed to turn into, complete whiplash. She was happy, she was good. Now she's all moody again. I'm like, for goodness
Yeah.
sake, like, come on, like, get a character arc and stick with it. So that really frustrated me.
Mm,
Um, the get into the planet. I actually really liked the eye of Sauron coming out of hyperspace because of
yeah,
the
it's a cool
visual effects.
visual. Yeah.
Well, I thought the sort of strands coming off of it were quite cool. The sort of
Yeah.
electricity and stuff. I liked that. That was good actually. I liked that a lot. Um, we spent significantly more time with Balin this episode, and I loved it. Just
Mhm.
give me a movie with him. Obviously, they can't now, and it's tragic because of
Yeah.
Ray.
I agree.
But if it criminally underused, so good. The subtle nuance in his performance, uh, absolutely great. He really knows those beats. Just hold a beat, move. Hold a beat, move. Brilliant. Love it. Absolutely great. Can't can't fault his performance. His performance overshadows everyone. It puts everyone to shame.
100%.
Um, so the Night Sisters, fine, grandmothers, whatever they're called. Are they called
Yeah.
grandmothers? What are they called?
Yeah, they called the main one grandmother, and
Right.
then
Okay.
I guess the other ones were like just regular
Whatever.
night sisters or something.
Yeah. I like the planet. I thought that was quite cool. It's weird how every dead planet in the Star Wars universe still has bandits running around, though. I find that odd. And
Every planet has their own version of the Tusken Raiders.
yeah, and they did make similar noises to the Tusken
Yeah,
Raiders
yeah,
as well, which annoyed me. The cheap Tusken Raiders were literally wearing like samurai armor, which I was like,
hmm
yeah, I get it's inspired by it, but stop it now. Like, you don't need to
yeah,
take things like for like. And the whole right Thrawn. I don't really care that he's got a paunch belly. I don't really care about any of that. I did think his characterization was a little bit off because if he's some grand strategist, only intent on the mission, only focusing on the mission, the inevitability is that his mission is going to be thwarted now by Ezra and Sabine because he didn't take out Ezra,
Yeah.
right? And so that's an oversight of his characterization and who he should be in this series. So that was crap.
Yep. 100%.
I thought the performance was quite good though. Very sort of cold, calculated. I don't have any other experience with the character though. So, I did a Thrawn explained video. That is essentially how I
Yeah.
learned about the character.
Yeah. I actually watched it.
Did you like it?
Yeah. Yeah. I did. Yeah. I thought you
Good.
did a good job doing a breakdown on it.
Thanks very much. It was as concise as I could make it. I mean, you can go real deep on this character. I learned. I
Oh
was like,
yeah. Yeah.
not gonna do
Definitely.
that.
Yeah. His
I'll be there for
ship,
like 2 hours.
yeah, his ship, the Crimea or Crimea, people pronouncing it differently. But man, when that thing showed up on screen, man,
That
it
was
has
cool.
seen better days. Like it
Yes.
was cool to see, but God, man, that thing looked like it came straight out of a junkyard. It didn't look menacing
Yeah.
at all. It looked like it was like on its last wheel,
But
just
I think that's kind of the point though, isn't it? Because it is showing them at their weakest capacity at that point.
yeah.
But I liked the imagery of it coming down
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
bay hanger coming over the tower top.
Yeah, I thought that was cool too.
The weird dog, bat, horse creature, rat thing. That was completely unearned. Like I get it, they're trying to play up to the fact that it's like a dog, but she has this connection with it suddenly. Get away from it. I don't care about that.
Oh,
Go
it
away.
was so dumb when it was, like, coming back and she was, like, yelling at it. "You
Yeah.
left me." Like, it's
Yeah.
just an animal. You're
Yeah.
talking to it like it's a person, like it's, has
But it
any
understood
sense.
it. It understood her like a person as
Yeah,
well. And I'm like,
yeah.
no,
I was like,
I'm not
"What's
interested.
happening here?"
Not interested with that. So that
Yeah.
annoyed me. And then yeah, look, I didn't care about that. I thought the Ninja Turtles were quite cool. I quite like them.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't bother them. I wasn't bothered by them. I just thought they were
Yeah.
a little cartoonish and, and
Yes, I'll
and
agree with you
silly.
there. But I think they're as cartoonish as the likes of Yoda was when we initially saw Yoda, because
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
really cartoonish. So I didn't really hate them. And the meeting was absolutely anticlimactic and pathetic. The standout Balin and the power that's drawing him and the little stuff you learn about Balin. I was just a bit older than you when my entire world was burnt to the ground. Do I miss
Mm.
it? Blah blah blah. Oh, that's amazing. What?
Yeah.
Like again, just give me that. Give me a movie of
Every time
that.
he's on screen talking, it's just like, just leave, just don't
Yeah.
turn the channel from
Yeah.
this. Just leave it
Yeah.
here.
Well, I'm also quite enjoying his apprentice as well because he turned to her and was like, "No, you have been trained to be more." And I'm like, "Okay, what's going on there then? More than the Jedi, more than the Sith. What is he? Like, what is it? And what's the power that's calling to him? All of that I quite liked. But
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
else,
His
eh.
his apprentice has actually kind of moved up on the scale for me a
Mm.
little bit after this last episode because I wasn't really a fan
But
of
they didn't
her
they
in the
didn't do anything
first.
with her.
No,
She was just waddling around with a lightsaber. It was a bit,
yeah,
oh, whatever. But now, yeah, good. Good, I think. Like
yeah,
that character and Balin, criminally underused. I've got 2 episodes left, haven't we? 8 episodes?
yeah. Two left. Like
That's crap.
I don't know how they're gonna wrap up in
But I
two
don't think they are.
episodes.
I think the movie's gonna wrap it up.
Yeah,
But inevitably, what's gonna happen? Alright, no, let's talk about the stormtroopers. They're dead, aren't they? Of course they're dead.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I think that's
Dead magic. I think that was kind of foreshadowed with the Morok character
yeah,
and the Night Sisters' magic powers, and
yeah.
so
I didn't
yeah, I
like
think they're all smoke.
I didn't like the fact that every single one of their armor is smashed up. I think that's crap. It's just what they all of their armor's broken, is it? All of it?
Yeah, like
Every last one of them?
Yeah, that was where I was like, I didn't really know how to feel about the stormtrooper armor because Thrawn is
Mm,
very disciplined and likes things in order, and
yeah,
everything with all the stormtroopers seemed completely undisciplined and out of order.
yeah,
So that was another thing that seemed a little bit out of character for Thrawn.
yeah. What do we think's in the pods that they're loading on?
Man, that's a good question. I was wondering about that. I'm guessing it's probably
Because
something to do with
they're
maybe
they're loading it from the Night Sisters Tower, aren't they?
yeah, from the
Onto the
catacombs.
ship. Yeah.
Yep.
So what's that then? What they look like people-sized pods for starters.
Yeah, I maybe it's more dead bodies, and they're gonna use the Night Sister magic to bring them back to life for the add
Why
to
would they
the
be in
zombie
pods
army or
though?
something.
Why would they be
I
in pods though?
I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I mean, if that was the case, why would they not just have
Mm,
already done that and already had everybody with imbued with the Night
yeah.
Sister magic at this point?
Do you reckon they're chiss? Maybe they're more chiss.
It's possible, but out here in this other galaxy,
Don't
I don't
More,
know.
more Night Sisters, maybe.
That's a possibility.
But then
It
why would
could
they
be
not just be
something
awake?
else. It could be something else that's like, um, something that has to do with um like anti-force, sort of like in the books he had the little creature that no force user would be able to use the force around Thrawn, because the little creature that he
Yeah.
had, it might be something along those lines, or who knows. They're cherry picking stuff out of the Heir to the Empire Thrawn trilogy. I
Mm,
just don't know how much they're pulling from those books in the
yeah.
show. Uh, so yeah, I mean, your guess is as good as mine on what's in there. I guess we'll find out next week.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be. I'm to wrap up my review. It was better than last week's episode, in my view.
Hmm.
Balin's stand out, and I'm looking forward to the next episode primarily because I want to know what is calling to Balin. That's intriguing to me.
Yeah.
So there you go. Not much else really to say on it.
Mm,
But we do have our first super chat, which takes us off to our next topic as well. So Israel R for $10 says, "Greetings to the Mr. H and panel on my favorite podcast, based on Ahsoka episode 6. I believe that rumor about Filoni and KK killing the Force might be true. Thoughts? Well, here's the rumor:
mm,
um, is that they're not going to kill the Force; they're going to change it,
yeah.
and only women can use it afterwards.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just look. That's bollocks. And anyone saying so is bollocks. And I'll just say why. Because everyone has seemingly forgotten when this comes, where this is in the timeline.
Yeah.
Where is it? Where is it in the timeline, ladies and gents? Has anyone remembered? Because no one did when they made this rumor up, and they absolutely did make this rumor up for clickbait.
In between the OT and the sequel trilogy.
There we go. Who uses the Force in the sequel trilogy?
Yeah.
Oh, some men do,
Luke,
don't they?
Ray,
Yeah. So,
Palpatine.
look, it's 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 from Doomcock, all right. So believe what you want. But apparently it was a previous rumor from making Star Wars, but that's not the same thing because their previous rumor was how they used it, wasn't it? So this piece of the rumor was confirmed in an earlier episode, blah blah blah, which is again different place, etc. etc. But here's the new rumor. Oh, for goodness sake. So where is it? Where is it? Where is it? This is just the old rumor about them doing like force karate. So this is not the
Oh
new
yeah.
rumor, which we covered. But here's the new rumor. Um, Doomcock shares what his sources have informed him about the how the force will be changed in the Acolyte and Ahsoka. The Acolyte is set in like way, way, way before Ahsoka. Has he
Yeah.
forgotten when Ahsoka's set? I think he has. Bless him. Um, allegedly, the Acolyte Season 1 was basically going to kill the Force as we know it, therefore killing the George Lucas version of Star Wars. All right. The Acolyte. I thought weren't these the same people that were saying the Acolyte was not coming out?
No. That
Oh
was
no.
different people.
That's Cameron Pash, right?
Yeah.
No one wants to say his name on here. I'll say it. He's the one spreading the dumb shit. Anyway, the Acolyte Season 2 was supposed to be a rebirth of the Force and be more magic based and very female. The only time men would wield this new Force is if they were baddies. I'm simplifying the Acolyte, but that's the basics. And then he said, as for Filoni and his role, as we told you previously, we were told that Dave made a deal with Kathleen Kennedy that he would do her bidding if she let Ahsoka come back. Kennedy saw a way to use that to get what she wanted, and allegedly Dave cooked up the whole thing. Using the veil of the Force to go back in time to fix Star Wars was a smokescreen to make fans watch Ahsoka. But you were the only one saying that, Doomcock, mate. Who's doing the smokescreen?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who said the veil of the Force was going to go back and fix Star Wars? It wasn't. It wasn't Star Wars that said that, is it? It was.
Yeah. The rumor was that the Veil of Force was going to be used to retcon
oh my
the
god,
sequel trilogy.
Well,
But I think everybody's come to the conclusion that's not happening
right.
at this point.
Obviously not.
Yeah.
Bless. Anyway, while using the shirt itself as a replacement of the Acolyte. So apparently, here's how Ahsoka will do what the Acolyte couldn't. Morgan Elsbeth is supposed to be the last of a dead group called the Witches of Dathomir. She's not, because there's 3 others, but all right. Morgan is told the Dark Jedi Sith that are helping her that Thrawn calls to her. He's trapped in another universe, but this is a bait and switch. Thrawn is there. They knew that as well. But so is the rest of the Witches of Dathomir. Opening this universe will only release Thrawn, but the Witches as well. Allegedly, this will be the cliffhanger that Ahsoka will end on. You see, the plan is for the fans to demand to see what's happening next. But let's just say the series is so far not setting the world on fire. Hey, I'm confused. So what they say? Oh, so season 2 will see the witches basically cast a spell that kills the Force, because not only the Jedi but the Sith are the only people that can defeat the witches, and casting the spell makes the witches even stronger than before, and only females would wield this magic. Therefore, remaking the Star Wars universe, the Force is female and in Catholic. But that's simply not. What do you think? I've talked enough.
So apparently, because I read some stuff on this supposed rumor yesterday, and supposedly this is only going to happen in this new galaxy, this new space. So basically, what they're saying is Disney feels like they are shackled by George Lucas Star Wars, the canon, the rules of Star Wars, all that sort of stuff. So they're basically going to do this in this new galaxy and then make this new galaxy their own. So Dave Filoni, it'll be his own playground. He can do whatever he wants, and he's not constrained by the rules of George Lucas Star Wars, because this is all in a whole nother galaxy. So basically that's the gist of the rumor, that this will happen, but it will just be in this other galaxy. Who knows? I don't put a lot of faith into rumors. I like listening to them and hearing them, because then I can just kind of file it away in the back of my mind. And then if it actually happens, I'll be like, oh, wow, that actually did happen.
Yeah.
But for the most part, a lot of this stuff is just rumor, speculation, and a lot of time that doesn't. A lot of the stuff doesn't actually happen.
Well, I'll go out on a limb and say that's not going to happen. I bet you anything what will happen. I don't know this. Maybe I do. Maybe I'm going to start a rumor. No, I honestly don't know. This is my guess. Based on how the show's gone, we'll spend the next episode either on this planet or only half of it on the planet. Basically, what's going to happen is, riddle me this. What will happen is, Thrawn will leave, and he will leave Sabine and Ezra there. They will leave before Ahsoka gets there.
Yeah.
Ahsoka will have to pick up Ezra and Sabine, and maybe even Balin, or Balin will just get stranded on the planet, and they will use the whales to go back. End, basically, and then it'll be the movie. That's what's going to happen. I don't think there's going to be any. I could be wrong, but I don't think there's going to be any.
Big,
Casting.
huge
They're not going to stay in that.
climactic ending.
They're not going to stay in that universe, in that galaxy. They won't stay there. So this whole thing of having, having the witches perform this thing, that's not going to happen because it doesn't matter. Who cares? They're not going to stay there. There's nothing there. They will move back to the other galaxy. So, yeah, I reckon. Anyway.
Yeah. I heard somebody else talking about another possibility. I was watching a video actually last night. I can't remember the channel. It was somebody else's channel that was talking about this rumor. They're basically saying another possibility is that this does actually happen in the actual Star Wars galaxy, but it takes Ahsoka, Sabine, Ezra, Luke Skywalker, and Mando, and all them to actually defeat them. And once they're defeated, all that spell and magic stuff that pulled the Force away from Force users being able to use the Force goes away, and it's back to same old, same old. Which is also would be dumb because of just the time that it takes place. It would be like, we already know that the Force, that they end up winning, and this doesn't last because we got the sequel trilogy. So that would also be dumb. I don't know. The whole thing just is dumb.
That's why I just think it's nonsense.
Yeah, but who knows? Who knows what they're gonna do? It's become a running joke and meme at this point. Disney Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Time will tell. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a whole lot in these last 2 episodes as far as
they're just saying it in the movie.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what they're going to do. The movie will be the culmination of Thrawn, I reckon. That'll be that sort of, because what else is the movie going to be about? It'll be Mando coming together, Boba Fett coming in, all these people coming in to go and defeat Thrawn. That's what it'll be. The Mandalorians overall, Bo-Katan. That'll be like redemption almost, for the Mandalorians themselves. That'll be what it is. It'll be that.
Yeah. Plus, we got Mando season 4, which is going to be coming out before this movie is supposed to actually drop. So we'll probably get more tie-ins and more story there.
Yeah.
Hey, Anna.
Well, anyway,
Anna's in the chat.
Yeah, no, you're derailing my segments. God damn it. Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, it's not. Yeah, I think that hopefully answers your question anyway.
Yeah.
Israel Armour Dude. Obviously stemmed from the super chat. Thank you so much for the $10. Really do appreciate that. We've also got a £4 super sticker from Al Humphreys. Thank you so much, chat. Hope you're well. Space Jettison for $4.99 says, just in time for my lunch to listen to your glowing reviews of Ahsoka on my favorite podcast, Wank Clone Wars. All right. Appreciate that, my dude. Mucho gracias. Yeah. Right, what have we got to say? It's a Star Wars filled day, Nick. It's a Star Wars filled day, Nick. Did you know that Del Toro confirmed that Lucasfilm passed on him directing a David Goyer written Star Wars film?
I remember the rumors when he was supposed to be involved in a project, but this is Disney Lucasfilm, and you can't count on them going through with anything that's announced or talked about. They have lost more writers, directors than they've actually hired to do projects of projects that have actually happened. And that's actually an actual fact. They've lost more people than they've had people actually do a project. So yeah, it's I remember when he was supposed to be involved in a Star Wars project, but at this point, anytime I hear any rumors about somebody doing a Star Wars project, I'm like, yeah, that probably won't happen.
Oh, absolutely. Press X the doubt pretty
Yeah.
much universally on this stuff these days. So what's this? Well, yeah, we had this. It was Josh Harrowitz basically spoke to him. So David Goyer wrote a Star Wars movie to be directed by Del Toro that we will never see. So that was David Goyer that spoke to Josh Harrowitz. So he said, I wrote an unproduced Star Wars movie that Del Toro was going to direct. That was about 4 years ago. Interesting time. What came out 4 years ago? Wasn't that? Oh God, when was that? Wasn't that?
That was Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. So that was post Solo.
Yeah.
Would have been post
Oh,
Solo.
no. That Solo came out before it came out between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it
So
was
this
after.
4 years
Yeah.
ago, yeah, would have been post Solo. After they had said already that they were going to be clamping down and not doing more.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So Goya said he wrote a Jedi origin script. Doesn't that sound a lot like what they're going to be making with chap who just did Indiana Jones?
Yeah. I'm drawing a blank. What is his name?
I've literally just I've drawn a blank too. That's why I said Indiana Jones. But that is, isn't it? That's what they're doing.
James Mangold.
That's the Mangold film, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, it is. And I guarantee you he's not going to be making that movie either, especially after what Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny just did at the box
Yep.
office. He's probably not going to be involved in that project either. It's sort of like, when D&D finished up with Game of Thrones and
Mm,
they were supposed to come on and do a Star Wars project. And after the backlash they got on that
gone.
final season of Game of Thrones, then apparently they were just the whole deal fell through and they just didn't have time to do it. And
Yeah.
then they were canceled off the Star Wars project. So I don't
Again, look
know.
at this. And then I also wrote an unproduced. I have a scriptment for an Origins of the Jedi movie, also for Star Wars that I wrote for them. It took place 25,000 years
Didn't James
before
Mangold
the
say
first
he was
Star
the
Wars
one
film.
that came up with this idea and this is what he wanted to do?
Yep.
But apparently this was thought up of and done by Goyer like 4 years ago. So where'd you
Apparently.
get your idea from, James?
Uh,
So it
I
seems like he actually didn't come up with this idea. Somebody else did. And Kathy was like, look, do this Indiana Jones thing. I'll put you on a Star Wars project, with the origin of the Jedi and all this sort of thing.
yeah. I can't believe that. So Goya then said, so that would have been, I got to do that Vader Immortal VR thing, but dabbling in Star Wars would have been fun for me. So when asked why the Del Toro movie was not greenlit, he said there was just a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on over at Lucasfilm at the time. It's a cool script.
Always
There's
is.
always something going on over there.
Always some behind the scenes stuff going on over there.
So Del Toro confirmed he was attached to the script, writing on Twitter, true, can't say much, maybe 2 letters, J and BB. Is that 3 letters? What is that?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Would confirm he was attached. Can't say much. Maybe 2 letters, J and BB.
Yeah. What is that?
I have no clue.
I have no.
J.J. Abrams?
No, it wouldn't be, would it?
J
He'd write
for
JJ then, wouldn't
J.J. Abrams. I mean, there's
BB-8?
there,
Jar
yeah,
Jar Jar
maybe.
Binks? No, it's
Yeah.
2 J's. I don't know. It's Yeah, I've got no idea. I've got absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
I don't think the article does either, to be fair.
Yeah, because I don't think he ever clarified it, or nobody even clarified it for him.
Mm. Yeah, again, here's that mangold part.
Mm.
So when I mentioned to Kathy the idea that I had about going backwards, really far backwards, I was surprised that it excited her and the other wonderful people she works with at Lucasfilm.
Oh, shut up, James.
Fuck's sake. Because we know you didn't say that now, obviously.
Yeah.
What do we think? I mean, Del Toro, right? What Del Toro Star Wars movie could have been? Would it have been good? I don't know.
I mean,
He's good,
he's good.
but would it
He's good.
would it? But was he a good fit for Star Wars with them not giving creativity? Is what I mean, I guess.
Yeah, the thing is with the stranglehold that they have on the direction and what the writers and directors and stuff do, I don't know if anybody would be good for Star Wars. I think there's a
Yeah.
lot of people out there that would be good for Star Wars if they said, "Hey, make this movie and just let them go."
Mm.
And but I mean, they're so restrictive on the people that are making these things for them. Uh I think it makes it hard for anybody to actually make anything good.
Mm.
And a lot of people, like, I can't remember who it was. There was one big time director who was asked, "Would you ever want to do a Star Wars movie?" And he was like, "Absolutely not," because of the way
There's a
things
few that
are
have
at
said that, isn't
Lucasfilm.
there?
Yeah, so even in the industry of all these creators and directors and stuff, like, they know what a shit show it is over there, and nobody wants to go work over at Lucasfilm. I
Oh
mean,
dear, oh dear.
we don't even know how much longer freaking John Favreau's going to be there. I mean, it's looking and seeming
Yeah,
like he's got one foot out the door already at this point.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, Del Toro. I think if you were to give him just a movie, just go off and make a movie unconnected to anything, and they gave him free reign so he could do his own aesthetic as well. I think that'd be
Hmm.
amazing because he's so good with the practical VFX, right? The
Yeah,
practical effects that he has is just absolutely amazing, and it works very, very well. You know, you could compare some of the stuff that is in Hellboy to, the cantina. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
a lot of the Tatooine stuff, and it compares excellently. So he would be good in that regard, but terrible with KK and the sort of overreach that they have, creative control over the directors. That would be the bad part.
yeah. And he's
So
really good at just fantasy stuff, just,
yeah,
on its own, like the witches, the troll hunters, Pan's Labyrinth. I mean, he's done a
yeah.
ton of fantasy stuff. Like, he knows fantasy.
Oh, absolutely.
Um, and so I think he would be perfect for to do a Star Wars movie,
Mm,
but it's just the restraints that Lucasfilm puts on people. So
yeah,
and then everybody would hate him and be like, "Oh, this movie sucks," and he's like, "Oh, this isn't
yeah.
the movie. This isn't the movie I wanted to make."
Oh dear. Graph Web for $2 says, "For God's sake, hashtag cancel Disney Plus."
I've
I don't
never
have Disney
subscribed.
Plus. I use
I've
someone else's.
Yeah, same. I've never paid 1 cent for Disney Plus, and I never will.
Yeah. Yeah, I use someone else's, gave me the login, so I just pop on there. It's not that
Yeah,
good to be fair. Like I only use it to catch up on stuff I've got to review. But
yeah, same.
yeah. Ladies and gents, please do smash that thumbs up button on your way in. It's not to help the video out specifically because this will be unlisted when we're done. But please do smash that thumbs up button. We got nearly 600 people here, but only 245 likes.
Smash that like
Um,
button.
Smash that like button. It helps hopefully tell YouTube to let you know that we're streaming, that the podcast is on, basically. So that's kind of why I'm asking you to do it. Please do check out links in the description box to Nick Talks Entertainment, Echo Base Network as well. Check out the links to my second channel down below where you can find all of these podcasts. We're not finishing, by the way. I know it sounds like my Finnish amble. We're not. We got more topics, but I don't do enough of this where I reiterate my start stuff. So we've got a lot of you here, so I've got to say some of this stuff again, basically. This podcast is funded by you guys for you guys. So we get demonetized very regularly. So please do chuck in a buck with the super chat function. It's a great way to help support the channel, support the podcast, but also to steer, direct, and put your input with respect to the conversation. So it can be about the topics we're covering. It can be about anything you want us to talk about. Literally anything you want us to cover. And some people just want to do it because they just want to help. So it's up to you, but got to say that. Please do that, ladies and gents.
The stream might not be demonetized without Tom and Culture here today. We actually might be good.
Yeah, we might be. I mean, I think we are. The thing is, I'm looking now. It says it's okay, but it's never really a guarantee anyway, to be fair. Bloody,
Yeah,
it goes
true.
halfway through normally. It's normally around the hour-long mark. And the thing is, we don't earn money from streaming either, just as an FYI. Like, you don't actually earn money from the stream. I don't know.
Yeah, because there's no ad revenue coming from it.
No, there shouldn't be. But what it'll be, I mean, it'll be
It's not
about
like
a
they're gonna.
pound.
Yeah.
So you can't even buy a coffee with that, basically. So, like, no, not in the UK now. Fucking coffee's well expensive here. Anyway, right, let's shuffle on to our sort of next topic, which is the whole Deadpool situation. So, Deadpool 3 directors just come out and said it now. We're going to be exploring the Fox Marvel legacy. So, all those rumors are clearly true. Clearly. Which, why did you have to say this? Like, come on now. You know, keep some of it as a mystery, I guess. You didn't have to confirm it all. So, what did he say? Well, he came out and said Deadpool and Wolverine are iconic Marvel characters, more specifically, iconic Marvel of the Fox era characters. We're not going to pretend, oh, we snap our fingers and suddenly that Fox legacy doesn't exist. And it shaped a lot of what we now know as the MCU. Fox also shaped Ryan's career, Hugh's career, and my career. So there's a lot of history there, and there's a lot of Marvel history at Fox. And certainly that's a part of our storytelling. So there you go. He literally just confirmed everything that we had speculation and rumors that was going to happen. Didn't have to confirm it, did he? Didn't have to say any of this. I think that's really shit.
Yeah. I think everybody kind of already knew that anyways.
I know, but you can have some there's gonna be a lot of people that weren't aware of the rumors of all the X-Men characters coming back and stuff like that weren't sort of up on it. So I think that's a shame, that they just sort of like, yeah, there you go. Basically, they're all going to come back. Because I think what's going to happen is that they'll traverse the multiverse and sort of come into contact with them all, and then end up in. Well, that is the rumor, isn't it? Then they'll just end up in the Marvel universe. So
yeah, with the Marvels.
Yay, way. Are you looking forward to
Deadpool
Deadpool 3 or not?
It's the only MCU movie I am looking forward to.
You're not looking forward to the Eternals too?
Nah, absolutely not.
Why?
I probably won't see
Oh,
that.
shame,
I
man.
won't see the Marvels. Like, I don't care about any of those, which is sad because when the MCU films were at their height, like anytime a movie would drop, every single time I would go see it opening night. Every single time, except for Captain Marvel. That's the only one in the entire MCU I did not go see opening night. But after Endgame, and after seeing all the stuff that we've been getting,
Oh, God,
it's
yeah.
just like, oh God, this has gone downhill fast. So
Yeah.
Deadpool, I freaking love Deadpool. I love Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. He's one of my favorite Marvel cinematic characters ever of all time. So I'm definitely gonna go see it. I hope it's not complete crap like so much other Marvel stuff has been. But I'm definitely interested in checking it out. I've heard that it is going to end up being a pretty terrible movie. But I'm still gonna go see it.
Yeah, I've not heard anything great, but I still watch it. I guess just to cut out of curiosity, because this is going to be the
Yeah.
first R-rated Marvel movie, isn't it? I think
Yeah.
so. I got like
Under
a morbid
Disney.
curiosity. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Under Disney, I got like a morbid curiosity to watch it and be like, "Yeah, what's going on?" And also to see what they do with um, Jackman's Wolverine. Just curiosity, just to see whether they do anything with him.
Yeah, because
Um,
apparently it's not the actual Wolverine from the Fox X-Men movies. It's actually Hugh Jackman, the actor, right?
well,
Isn't that the
apparently,
rumor?
I think that was one rumor, and then they've changed that now. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what there was a few rumors circulating all at the same time. That one, that was a rumor that got popularity. We covered it, and then I think a few weeks later that was debunked. Apparently, I didn't hear that from any of my sources, so it was a bit difficult to sort of confirm that one. Um, so I don't know really. I think they'd be stupid if they do it as Hugh Jackman. That'd be really disappointing.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that. And the thing is, when I heard that rumor, I'm like, oh God, that's gonna be dumb. Like,
Yeah,
I want actual Wolverine, not like actor I play Wolverine,
yeah,
I don't want that. It's sort of like Wes Craven's first Nightmare, or that one where it was like the actual actors in the movie.
yeah.
I was just
No,
like,
no one wants to see those kind of things. It's not
yeah.
good. Yeah.
So yeah, actually give me real Wolverine. That's what I want. Because real Wolverine is a badass and would wreck people. Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine would be like, I'm not getting paid enough for this, and would just run away. Like, where's my agent at? And it would be
Yeah.
lame and dumb. So yeah, I hope that's not the case.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. Let's hope not. I think, yeah, let's hope not. It'll be interesting to see what people think of this because of Logan, because Logan was a really good definitive send off for a lot of people. So it'd
Yeah.
be interesting to see whether people are as enamored with this as I think Marvel think people will be. So, because a lot of people don't want him to come back because they're like, well, no, if he had a good send off, you're going to ruin that send off now.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna say that this actually takes place before the Logan movie or how.
Supposedly,
Yeah, so
supposedly,
apparently that's the rumor how they're gonna kind of get around that. So the Logan movie actually still does happen. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I really liked Logan. I like the send off. And the thing is, these actors are getting older now. They're not going to be able to keep playing these characters. So you wouldn't want to bring them back in a
no,
long-term format anyways, because they're not going to keep playing these characters for the next 10 or 15 years. I mean, you got to get to the point to where you're just rebooting or just recasting, and getting
yes,
new people to play these characters.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, there you have it, ladies and gents. Deadpool 3 rumors confirmed.
Mm.
So we got Darren Hughes has been a member of the channel for 5 months. Thank you so much. Please do become a member of the channel. Or gift some memberships, guys. You can gift members as well. Hey, Nick, you didn't say hi to me when I joined the chat. I'll let it go this time. Just kidding. Howdy, Nick, Mr. H, Olaf, and all. Uh, good to see you all. I think that's what that is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But so there you go. He's not going to let you off because he said just kidding.
Good to see you, Darren. I do not pay attention to the chat too much. So if I saw if you came in stream, I probably just didn't see you because I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. So I'm focused on the conversation. And then when Nate's talking, I'll glance over at the chat, But when I'm
So,
thinking or coming up with my responses or what I'm going to be saying, I'm not looking at the chat at all.
so what Nick's really saying is he doesn't even pay attention to me. So yeah,
I, I can listen to what you're saying and see what's going on in the chat, but I
oh,
can't think and talk and read the chat at the same time.
yeah, I get distracted doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Black Saber for $2 says the Kathleen Kennedy who cried wolf. Ugh, I know. We'll see how that goes. All those rumors and stuff. Olaf for €3 says for a cup of coffee.
Hail
Yeah,
Olaf.
appreciate that, my dude. Appreciate that. Big shout out to Olaf, doing a great job as the moderator here. So massive shout out. What we got now? So let's get into the meat of, I guess, the headline. We've got some other topics to cover as well, but what's our headline? Well, our headline is Bob Iger wants Disney out of the culture wars. And I mean, that's like a press X the doubt situation, isn't it? They've been saying this for ages. But this is kind of new. So, report the Walt Disney Company CEO Bob Iger wants to quiet the noise regarding culture war issues because they're not healthy for Disney's business. Are you admitting get woke, go broke now? What's going on?
Yeah, and I don't ever see him reversing course on
No,
getting woke part.
no, never. So, a new report claims that the Walt Disney Company CEO Bob Iger wants to quiet the noise surrounding culture war issues because he does not see them as healthy for the company's business. Obviously.
Duh.
Einstein, like for God's sake. Oh, let's post a bunch of polarizing stuff.
When did
Oh,
this
it's not
article
done
come out?
well.
When
This
did
is
this come
today.
out?
This is
Today?
today.
Is he
Yeah.
just now figuring this out? I mean,
Apparently so. Apparently so.
good
Oh,
lord.
let's post, really divisive rhetoric and stuff. Oh, half my business
Yeah.
is gone.
Well, after observing what happened to Bud Light, I don't think
Uh,
this is good for companies. All right, Bob.
Unbelievable. So, Needham financial analyst Laura Martin recently attended a 120-person investor event at Walt Disney World and reported on September 20th, so yesterday, that during this event, Bob Iger explicitly stated he wanted to quiet the noise on culture war issues. In Martin's report, which she provided to this website Bounding into Comics, she explained that Iger believes content should be entertaining, not issues focused. Well, you're going to have to delete and discontinue a whole bunch of your shows and your movies,
Yeah,
then, aren't
a
you?
whole bunch.
Because they are literally all about that.
Yeah.
That's the entire. It's the entire reason since the inception point of some of these programs. The entire reason for their being. Unbelievable. So
Did they ask him
furthermore,
about ESG money?
I have
In
no
this
idea. So furthermore, she detailed that Iger's key goal is to quiet the noise because culture wars are not healthy for Disney's business. What? He said this before as well to CNBC, David Faber in July. But this is nonsense. They've been saying this for ages.
nothing's gonna change. It's gonna be
Oh,
business as usual.
he did not want to be involved in a culture war, but in Martin's report, it's merely about quieting the noise. So he said before that he wants the CNBC. He was like, I don't want to be involved in a culture war. In this Laura Martin's report, it's like, oh no, we just got to quiet the noise. Which is which? So looking at Martin's report cynically, it's not hard to see that Iger wants to continue being involved in the culture war issues. Obviously, they do. And again, as you just pointed out, ESG.
Mm.
Yeah, sweet ESG money. Their employee trainings are everything's garbage that they do. So he doesn't want the company's role in the culture war to be so prominent. He wants it suppressed and quieted. I would say that's probably accurate, to be fair.
Yep. He doesn't want people talking about it all the time, and he
No.
doesn't want to, and he doesn't even want to reference it.
Yeah. So Martin's report, it would seem that Iger does indeed, if you look at it from a favourable standpoint, wants to remove the company from the culture wars that he embroiled it in. However, his words have so far not been followed by any actions. In fact, at the end of August, the company hired Joe Biden's former national traveling press secretary, Remy Yamamoto, to be the company's vice president of media relations for its television division. Variety reported that one of her main duties would be to oversee crisis communications and issues-oriented messaging.
Right.
So just lies, I guess, and cover
Yeah.
up. On the Disney Plus front, the company is still pushing the cultural agenda with their upcoming Percy Jackson and the Olympian series from Disney Plus. The series creator Rick Riordan recently defended his and the company's decision to replace a number of characters by claiming it was so that everyone could look at this series and see themselves. It's a fucking fantasy series about demigods, you dipshit. No one can see themselves as a demigod. What? What?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Dumb.
It annoys me. It annoys me. So, what do we think?
What did it say about white people?
So, the so-called diversity agenda that Reardon espoused was exposed as a racist anti-white agenda by Emily Goldstein in a thought catalogue back in 2019. This isn't them saying it. This is Emily Goldstein saying it. Diversity is about getting rid of white people, and that's a good thing. I'm extremely glad that the white race is dying, and you should be too. White people do not have a right to exist. Period. I mean, this is just a racist. Like that's insane. That is insane. You need it. You need to get off the internet, love. Go outside and
Wow.
go walk a dog or
Hardcore.
pet some rabbits or something.
The
Fucking
thing is,
psychos.
people like could say stuff like this today, and there's literally no ramifications for it
I
at
know.
all. If you say it
Replace
about
that with
another
black.
race, oh man, you are canceled. Nobody will ever talk to you again. It's insane, absolutely insane.
Diversity is indeed white genocide, and white genocide is exactly what the world needs more than anything. Well, look, I'll tell you this.
Wow.
No, they don't. They don't. No, the British Empire was fantastic for a reason and brought the world many fantastic things, and that was predominantly white. So no, go home, go home, go away.
So is the United States, and it's the pretty much the sole superpower in the world right now. Well, us and China.
This they're going through all of the stuff happening at Disney parks to point out that they're still embroiled in the cultural. I mean, this is all that white stuff. That's bloody insane. Don't be racist, ladies and gents, to anyone. It's stupid.
Yeah.
I've never understood that. I don't get it. Never understood it. Anyway, whatever. I'm not going to get into that. But what do we think? What do we think of Bob Iger getting at the culture war? I mean, it's not going to happen, is it? Let's be honest.
As Mexican Iron Man would say, "Dang it, Bob."
Mexican Iron Man's in the chat, actually.
Yeah, he's listening.
He literally did say, "Dang it, Bob!" Look.
Yeah.
Don't believe Bob. Dang it, Bob. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Bob Iger is, neck deep in the culture war. Disney's a part of culture. The ESG money, the agenda. We've seen all the leaked board meetings, on the gay agenda and the trans stuff and all that. Like, you're literally right in the middle of it, Bob. Just saying these words changes nothing, because at the core of the core of the company, all these people are employed there. They're all pushing for it. They're all wanting it. The whole ESG thing is pushing it, and it is what it is. I mean, you can say I don't want to be involved. Well, you're involved whether you want to be or not. The only way to not be involved is to fire all the activists within the company and get back to making family-friendly content that has no agenda or messaging or anything like that other than outside of just the normal moral stuff of good and bad and that sort of stuff, like the old classic Disney movies used to do. So yeah, his comments are a joke.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, ladies and gents. Of course, it's not. Bob Iger getting out of the culture war, mate. I believe that when a fucking unicorn comes and pisses in my garden. All right, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And the thing is, I don't want Disney to be terrible. I want Disney to be good. The more better products that we have out there, the better, you know. And I mean, I remember a time not that long ago, kind of long ago now. You know, Disney's last great film. What did they make that was so good? Tron Legacy. I love me some Tron
Oh,
Legacy.
love
They
Tron
can,
Legacy.
yeah, they can make good films.
Yeah.
They could anyway, but they just need to stop riding. A lot of it is, you know, it's not just a Disney issue; it's a studio-wide issue. You need to get off the dick of the Academy and their stupid quota for everything. Get off.
Mm.
Stop riding their dick. You literally give the Academy powers by adhering to their quotas. Just say, we don't care about an Oscar. No one watches them anymore. So we don't care, actually. See you
Mm.
later. Because that quota thing that they've got now destroys most creative elements. It means that absolutely unequivocally someone's going to be race swapped. It means absolutely unequivocally you're going to have some I don't know, some form of a disability thrown in there as well. Ladies and gents, I was watching Good Omens season 2 the other day. They have fucking disabled angels.
What?
They have disabled angels in Good Omens season 2 on Amazon Prime. Fucking disabled angels. You can't make this up. And the focus of the series is a lesbian relationship between two shopkeepers, literally, and maybe a gay relationship between Aziraphale and Crowley, and disabled angels. I'm not
That's
joking.
the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard.
I am not joking. Disabled angels, right? Literally on a fucking motorized wheelchair, right?
What?
Wheeling in like she's Professor X or some shit.
Oh,
Literally conjures up a disability ramp out of thin air as well. It is just outrageous. It is ridiculous. Why didn't you just make one of the other characters disabled? You're so stupid. You're trying to abide by this quota. You literally make one of the angels are disabled. Just make another person disabled. One of the angel. Think, mate. Think.
yeah.
Why is an angel disabled? What are you doing?
Angels
Oh, mate.
can't be
Honestly,
disabled. They're
no.
spiritual beings. It's so
I
dumb.
couldn't believe it. I actually couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, "What the fuck is going
Like
on?"
this is another reason why I care nothing about this stupid writer's strike, because
Yeah,
most of these writers out there are so incompetent and stupid. They shouldn't have jobs as writers anyways. uh I hope none of them get hired back. I hope the
yeah,
really talented good ones make their way through the trash heap of all the other writers out there, and they're able to actually you know, write good stuff out there and not get weighed down by all this crap. But yeah, there's
yeah.
so many dumb writers out there.
That's what I
It's
meant. Like
insane.
it, you know, it's not just it's the studios. The studios have got to stop appeasing and abiding by the Academy's nonsense quota. If once they stop giving them power and be like, no, we're not doing that. No, sorry, you've literally gone too far now. Go away.
Yeah, who at the studio thought this was a good idea when they saw or read this? Are they just not overseeing any of this? Like, okay, yeah, just go do whatever you want,
Yeah,
you know?
just go on. It's fine. Go
Yeah,
away. Like, no,
I don't want to be bothered. I
ridiculous.
just want to collect my paycheck. Just go make whatever you want.
Honestly, I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. All right, joining us now is Tom, and we're probably
What's up,
demonetized
Tom?
now as a result.
I haven't even said anything yet.
Oh, you've just done it now.
Yeah,
Right?
that's it. Now it's demonetized.
How you guys doing? Sorry I was late.
Good.
No, it's all good. Yeah, it's all
We
good.
covered the Ahsoka stuff, so you
Good.
missed out on that.
Glad.
Here you go. Here's the disabled angel.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Ugh.
That's an angel.
So angels are also old?
Not only
And
that, in heaven
disabled.
you're disabled.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that's kind of shitty.
Here's one with only one arm.
Who is that?
I
Oh,
don't know.
Another
is he
angel.
disabled too?
No, I
another
was
angel.
told the arm would be waiting for him in heaven. They lied.
Yep, that's another one. That's another one.
Wow.
So sad.
I can't believe it. Honestly, can't believe it. Absolutely outrageous. I don't care if you're disabled or not, but you don't hire someone. It's just the most ridiculous thing to put in the show as an angel that someone's disabled. You're asking to be ridiculed. You're literally asking to be ridiculed. I couldn't believe it. I genuinely couldn't believe it. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Absolutely insane. Anyway, whatever. There you go. There you go. Right. Right. I'm glad you're here.
How
Tom.
you doing, Tom?
Glad I missed the Ahsoka business, that's for sure.
Soccer. Well, no. Who said we've covered that?
Nick.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh,
Shows
yeah,
I
we
wouldn't
haven't
pay
covered it,
attention just
Tom.
now.
We're about to cover it right now. You got here just in time.
There you go, mate.
I gotta go.
Damn it. Oh, that's it. Right. Well, anyway, let's shuffle on to. It should be a relatively quick topic, I think. To be fair, we've got our first look at the Toxic Avenger. So we've got Peter Dinklage in a tutu. Elijah Wood literally looks like Danny DeVito's Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bit confused with the Peter Dinklage Toxic Avenger look now. So let's have a look. Toxic Avenger. It's a low budget classic, I guess, that they're remaking now.
Trauma classic, yeah.
Yeah, and Elijah Wood looks great. It doesn't look like Elijah Wood remotely, but he has real fun with his performances now. So let's have a look.
Is in this movie?
Yeah.
Wow.
Apparently so. There's Elijah Wood.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that does look like Penguin,
doesn't it?
It looks like a mix between Penguin and
Gollum.
Yeah.
Smeagol, yeah. There's a lot of people
Smeagol right before he turns to Gollum.
Like somebody put like the hand with the ring in his finger. I saw that.
Yeah.
He also looks like the tiny hand guy from Scary Movie a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. My strong hand.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So he plays a villain called Fritz Garbinger.
Mm-hmm.
With blackened teeth, panda eyes, long tendrils of hair all over the place. So apparently it's a riff. He's apparently a sort of riff-raff from the Rocky Horror Picture Show and the Danny DeVito Penguin mixed together. So, I mean, it is really hamming it up, obviously. I think it looks great, though. Like, can you imagine being Elijah Wood, having all the money in the world, basically? Because he does. He's so rich. And he's just like, fuck it. I'm just going to have fun with every single role I take now.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have to work seriously. So he's just doing the fun stuff. Because that is what he does. Like, all of the stuff he's in, he's just having a good time now, from what I can tell.
Yeah, because he's one of those actors that doesn't splurge and blow all of his money.
Yep.
So, all the money he's got will pretty much last him, the rest of his life. He's not like one of those other celebrities that's, makes all this money and then is like filing for bankruptcy, 3 years later.
And then, so they say the look came about my discussions I had with designers with Elijah himself. I wanted it to feel like a Peter Sellers type of performance where he just goes invisible. The idea is that you forget it's that, that it's Elijah that, from Lord of the Rings or anything else. I mean, it's a pretty good design choice from that perspective.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, am I the only one here who's seen the original? I mean,
man, I saw it so long. It was so long ago.
This looks like a cheap. I mean, the original movie already looks cheap. This looks like a cheap ripoff of that.
You ain't seen the worst yet.
Oh, I know it gets worse. I've seen worse. I've seen all these pictures. Yeah.
Ah, you're spoiling it. I didn't know you'd see it. God damn it.
He's got the little collar that crap that Rocky got for his dog in the second Rocky movie. He's got that around his wrist. Yeah. He's got the tutu, and then he's got the old school Zorro mask on. Like, that looks.
I mean, obviously, this is pre-transformation, but still.
Yeah, well, they say there's a terrible industrial accident that renders him a mutant and an outcast, but also gives him some super strength and super abilities that sets him on a path of being an unlikely vigilante in this downward spiraling society. Similar to the original Toxic Avenger, he's singularly unqualified to be a hero. He's not especially brave. He's not especially crafty, but he has his heart in the right place, and he starts taking it to the limit when he's pushed into a corner. I guess who's Kevin Bacon then?
Bad guy.
Yeah, so he's the brother of Elijah Wood's character, apparently. Yeah. He's in the mold of Lex Luthor, where they have all this money and resources at their disposal, but he's just kind of a disaster.
This isn't coming to theaters, is it?
Well, they haven't found a distributor yet.
Well, it's legendary, so they might be able to strike a bargain with someone, you know.
That's the thing, is nobody's picked this piece of shit up yet.
Oh my God.
It's been done for a while. They're showing it at some convention over the next week here. So
I guess that's why this. Yeah,
I can't remember what town it's in, but
this is why there's so much of a big expose on it now, to be fair, trying to get it out there.
Oh yeah, this is a paid for puff piece to try and get some interest drummed up in it, clearly, because there has been absolutely no interest in this at all. Which is funny, because this Lloyd Kaufman probably got paid more for this than he has for anything in his entire life. Like, those who may not know, Trauma is like the bottom of the barrel of, like, they know exactly what they are.
Oh yeah, like it's garbage, but
it's literally like, like the type of stuff like Sharknado was 20-30 years before that. Toxic Avenger just happens to be their most popular and biggest film ever, and it in fact got bigger when they did an animated series during the height of Ninja Turtles. Because they cashed in on the gross out humor factor. And so then they kind of took it back down to a PG-13 rating, but the first 3 films are pretty hard R-rated films. Like, they're not even remotely for kids. So
it's going to be premiering opening night at Austin's Fantastic Fest tonight, starts tonight, and the 28th.
I was gonna say, I thought it was somewhere in Texas.
Yeah. I mean, look, it does look like shit, doesn't it?
It'll probably pick up a Hulu deal or something.
Yeah, I don't see this thing going to theaters.
They don't. I guess they don't even say what rating it is.
My initial hearing about, they were trying to shoot for a PG-13 rating on this.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what I'd heard originally.
That's not good. Well, that's crap. Yeah, they don't say at all what that is. So apparently,
I guess it looks like it was inspired more by the second film, which is weird, but okay.
The janitor's mop is his super weapon as well. I don't really like Peter Dinklage, so I don't really want to watch him in the lead role.
So IMDb has this movie listed as rated R. Is it R-rated?
Oh, maybe they did do an R-rated version of it.
People can change IMDb though, so I don't know. I mean, it looks like it should be an R rating, but I don't know. Oh, well, there you go, ladies and gents. Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, the cartoon was super popular. There's merchandise everywhere.
The cartoon was so popular that they retroactively made the 4th film more of a sequel to the animated series than the other films.
Yeah.
Well, apparently this takes the color palette from the animated, so maybe they'll take some other stuff.
Well, that's the version most people know, actually. That's the thing. Like, that was the more mainstream version of it.
That's weird that they're trying to take the mainstream thing to make it to lend itself to the un-mainstream like movie that they're going to make. But
I mean, I'll give them credit. They actually did what they normally don't do when it comes to these remakes, and actually get some decent stars in there and whatnot. Even if you don't like Dinklage, he's a name at least. Because
yeah, no,
normally in
you are
these
right.
remakes, a lot of these remakes we've had recent years, they're a bunch of nobodies. And it's like, why would I want to go see, a remake of
Yeah,
something with nobody in it that I don't care about? Right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, to get Kevin Bacon and stuff, yeah, and
yeah,
Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood and stuff like that. I mean, that part has me intrigued, and I will check it out because I'm a fan of the original, but I have very
Mm.
little faith in it at this point.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think it's going to be good at all. But it might be good to watch with some beer. So
Yeah, it might be one of
interesting.
those kind of movies.
Right, we got some super chats here. So Wartooth88 sent in $5. Says in comics, Deadpool had a different coloured Infinity Stone that allowed him to break the fourth wall and jump from fiction to fiction. Welcome to MC Omniverse. Is that true?
Something like that, yeah.
I did not know that.
I did
I know
not
you
know
could
that
always break
either.
the fourth wall or whatever, but I didn't know it was because of an Infinity Stone.
Yeah, I'm not massively familiar with that.
I think he might be
Uh,
joking.
I thought that
don't-
was part of his mutation. Sorry, Nick.
I was saying I think he might be joking. I don't think it has anything to do with an Infinity Stone.
Oh, okay. There
Yeah,
we
because
go.
my memory of it was it's something to do with his mutation, but yeah.
I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Primark Vulcan for $4.99. Daniel Radcliffe looks like Fabius Bile from Warhammer 40k. I don't know who that is off the top of my
I
head.
don't either.
Let's have a look. Fabius Bile. Fabius Bile. Yeah, a little bit. Kind of. Kind of. So for those that don't, there you go. A little bit in the face.
It looks like the old dude, the old creepy guy from Poltergeist 2.
Oh dear, oh dear. Right. Well, let's shuffle on now, ladies and gents. Oh dear, oh dear. Right. So what do we got here? Right. Well, let's talk about this. So we need to talk about this because we talked about it before. But the Forbes article has been released. They spent $270 million on the Marvels.
Yeah, I think Valiant Renegade or somebody like that had discovered this before they did, but we're not surprised. This is the same stuff we've been hearing for a while. They've been basically having to admit that they spent a hell of a lot more than that.
And $70 million.
Yeah,
Why on earth would you do that?
Yeah, I knew there was no way that it was what was it, 130 that was reported earlier in the week?
130 from Vanity
Yeah.
Fair as well, of all people. They
Yeah.
posted that up. Didn't do. Yeah.
The editor over there is probably like, oh my God. We got to confirm this stuff more before we release it.
Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing that Forbes is coming out and sort of clarifying what Vanity Fair, the movie publication, should be getting right as well.
Yep. So with the 270, and then you're looking at another what, 130
well, I mean,
maybe on marketing.
at the very least 130 on marketing. They've not done a lot of marketing, but they've done a little bit.
So you're looking at 400 million total,
No,
and then after the theaters get their cost, so this thing's gonna have to make like what, 650 million or so to break even. Tom,
well, close to 800. Close to 800 to break even. So, yeah, 50% of theatre cuts. If it's 400 million all in, you'd have to get close to 800 million to break even. Like
At
you're looking
least,
at, it's going to have to be $1 billion movie for them to consider it to be a success.
And that's what we've been saying for a while now. This is the problem. They've pretty much structured these films to where they are make or break at $1 billion.
And
if they don't hit that, then they're fucked.
I think what's hilarious about this, right? Because obviously they have all the rundown of stuff and what costs money and things, right?
Yeah.
In this, one of the things which was so expensive, which they spent like a crazy sum of money on, was where is it? The exact thing. $30 million on staff. $30 million of stuff. They made an entire movie for $85 million called The Creator.
Yep.
Not on sound stages, on location, and the CGI looks better than the CGI in this. What? $30 million on staff. And it's only 240 people.
I mean, I would be like, is this really needed? Like, I mean, I've said it 100 times here on this stream before. Like, they have got to get these budgets under control for these movies.
That's not so bad compared to what some of these actors are taking home. That's the bigger problem. Because 29 million right there, I bet you that's almost what Brie Larson took home herself.
Yeah, I know. Well, absolutely, because she's on like.
So if you're hiring a whole staff for that, that's not so bad. But yeah, you could probably slim that down. And that's the second problem with all these movies is the union bullshit. And that's why The Creator was able to be made for so cheap, is because they avoided as much of the extra expenditures as they could. Yeah.
Well, they filmed it out in Southeast Asia on location. This is what I mean, Eric, because everyone's always like, "Oh,
small
well, you know,
crew,
tiny crew," and they need, they need the, they act like they have to have it on sound stages to get all this CG, fully render these worlds. They don't. The Creator is live action with a fully CGI environment around them, basically. Massive buildings and structures and, bombers flying through and aliens walking around, not aliens, robots walking around. Like, come on now. You're telling me you have to have a sound stage? You are full of and green screens? I didn't see any of that in the Creator behind the scenes. Didn't see any green screens, actually. Don't think they could really do that where they were. But then they got in trouble for using like a real explosion or something like that. Piss off. Cotton ball bud wankers. Jesus. It's just, this is insane. I mean, this odds that this will make money. It won't.
Zero, negative 100. This makes money. Can anybody name the last Disney film that actually made money?
So Guardians of the Galaxy made a tiny amount of
did it actually
money.
make money?
Yeah,
debatable. Probably after video and on demand and all that stuff, maybe it made a little bit of money, I'd say.
Yeah, we're looking in like the millions, not tens of millions. It wasn't.
Yeah, literally like just broke even and probably made a few bucks.
Yeah. Which is crazy as well, because they spent more on this than they did Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, yeah, it's madness. It's insane. I mean, more power to them. You keep spaffing your money up the wall. But
the funny thing is they don't seem to even care. They don't seem to care that they're losing money on these projects. They're just going to keep churning them out.
Well, the hilarity is they used to do the opposite of what they're doing now. Because I know Mr. H knows Gary Toncliffe. He has told us a story about how they basically lied to the public about how much the Exorcist reshoot cost. They told everybody it cost twice as much as it did, just to kind of bolster the image of the movie. Nowadays,
make it sound like it was like, oh, it's a really big budget.
Yeah, nowadays they lie the opposite direction. They only tell you about half of what they spend. And we're starting to learn this. This is the average now, because from Guardians of the Galaxy Part 1 on, we're learning that the Marvel films have cost anywhere from 150 to 200 million more than what they said. We're learning now that all the Star Wars films are like double the original budgets.
Wow.
And this isn't even with advertising or anything. This is just the budget. Because what they're doing is they're reporting the projected budget or their initial budget. They're not throwing in all the extra shit. They're not counting all the reshoots or anything like that. Where they used to lie to us about, oh, we've planned that in the bullshit you do. Because we're learning now that these movies are costing a hell of a lot more than what they've been telling us, which is just insane.
Well, it's funny, isn't it? Because like you make a good point. It's what they used to do versus what they do now, right? So they used to overinflate the budget to make it seem, because you like they did so much with so little. So to reveal it as being as cheap as it was would cheapen the product in their eyes.
Exactly.
Now they have to underinflate. They have to degrade in the eyes of the populace what the budget is, because if people learnt what it was, it would reveal just the staggering amounts of money they've spent on such a cheap looking product. Like the tables have turned on that. Like before, it didn't look cheap, so they overinflated the budgets. Now it looks bloody cheap, so they have to lower the budget in the eyes of the populace because it looks like wank, and they would be torn apart.
Well, not only that, they got to
as
save
they are
face,
now.
right? It's so they can say, "Oh, well, this thing was profitable or this thing was successful,"
Yeah,
when it really wasn't.
Yeah. So funny.
When by all rights it
$270
should be, but
million.
they're spending too much money. Sorry.
$270 million on an hour and 38-minute movie.
Is this if
That's-
this movie is that
runtime.
short?
That's
Yeah,
the runtime,
That's
mate.
the shortest Marvel movie in history.
Yeah, yeah,
is,
that is
yep.
that is the runtime, mate.
That means
1
they
hour,
chopped the
38 minutes.
shit out of this thing.
Yeah.
Holy
1 hour,
crap.
1 hour, 38 minutes for $274 million.
No wonder they did reshoots so they can fill in some gaps. I bet they chopped the hell out of this thing.
Yeah, 1 hour, 38 minutes.
They have
Confirmed
never
official.
had one single Marvel movie ever come in under 2 hours, except for I think the first Iron Man and Hulk. And even those I think are just at the edge of 2 hours.
Thor: The Dark World was like 1 hour 52 or something.
Oh, is it? Okay. I was gonna say otherwise, like most of them are right on the cusp of 2 hours or over. By the time you get to after Avengers, they're all over 2 hours.
Yeah, honestly, Disney, under your Fox banner or 20th Century, whatever that shit you dropped the name.
Yeah.
You've got Gareth Edwards. Hey, he was under your Disney banner at one point with Lucasfilm.
Right.
He could do amazing things with tiny budgets. Give him your money. Give him the next Hulk movie. Reboot the Marvel universe. Give him the Hulk movie. He'd do great things. He just
or
fuck
X-Men.
off to some. Yeah, he'd just piss off to some random woods somewhere with some actors and some tiny little crew, and you get a great movie. Tiny budget as well.
Do really well with X-Men, actually. I think.
Yeah. Yep.
These budgets are meant $274 million for 1 hour and 38 minutes. Some people are getting robbed blind of their cash funding this.
Well, not only that, we've got the new this is another thing that I can't believe. The new Expendables movie comes out today.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Let me see what the budget is on that, because I know the first 3 were actually fairly okay. So this one's modestly budgeted too. These guys know how to make a movie. The Expendables 4 has $100 million budget. There is no way in hell that movie is not going to be profitable.
Oh no, that 100% that would be profitable. Yeah.
Even the third film that didn't do well at the box office still probably ended up making money at the end of the day, because I think it only cost 90 to 100 million is what they average here for the budget for 3. And then I know the first 2 are like 60 and 80. So there you go.
Yeah, they don't need to cost loads of money.
And I think the
like
only
the John Wick films,
actors, but
the John Wick films don't have big budgets either.
No, but that's also because Keanu Reeves doesn't demand a 12, 15, $20 million payday either, because he knows that if he does, that's going to jack the budget up to that next level to where they have to make twice as much as what they have. Yeah.
And also he's got all the money in the world anyway from Matrix. He doesn't need any more money.
Yeah.
Or whatever movie it was. Because there was he's given loads of his wealth away, hasn't he, that chap?
Oh yeah.
Well, look, the Marvels not going to make money, but what do we think?
I think it's hilarious. It's still The fact that this is 98 minutes, that makes me laugh. It really makes me laugh.
For 98 minutes for $274 million.
Yep. And this movie originally was supposed to come out this past July.
Yep.
And then they moved it to August or September, I think. And then they moved it again to November. And the funny thing is they moved it to November after the next investor call meeting. So they were like, all right, we got this investor call meeting. Let's push this thing right past that so we don't got to talk about it or anything, because this thing is going to flop so hard.
It's so bad.
Well, and I'm sure that's why they went into reshoots and pushed it back. It had very little to do with anything other than the movie probably sucked and tested poorly. That would
Yeah.
be my guess. And usually when you do that and you do some reshoots and you truncate a movie, because I guarantee you the original cut of this movie was somewhere in the 2.5 to 240 range, I bet. Because that's their
Absolutely, it would have
average.
been.
And
Absolutely, it would
and it probably tested poorly, so they went and shot a few scenes to kind of clean up
have.
some of the loose ends so they could truncate it down to 98 minutes. And the other reason they probably did that is so they can get more showings in, because they know
Yeah.
this thing
Yeah,
has-
that is exactly what I said in my video about this, is that they would have done that because they know full well that their movies are front loaded. They know full well that the word of mouth is going to be bad.
Yep.
So they're going to try and get as many people in opening weekend as
Yep.
possible by having as many showings available as possible. And it's on IMAX now as well. That's it. That's the reason. That's why they've chopped it up to high heaven. Because they're like, right, we'll get as many as possible, just make as much money as possible, and then just turn our back on it. Done.
This is gonna feel like a choppy mess. I have a feeling already.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
massively.
theaters after the first weekend are probably gonna be like, all right, we need to limit how many times we're showing this thing, because people aren't showing up for this.
Well, just the
yeah,
fact that you
well,
get multiple showings. If you have a movie that's over 2 hours and some long, that's one less showing in a day you can get.
yeah,
You keep it under 2 hours, you get an extra showing in a day,
yeah. Oh,
if
what a
not more
joke.
than one extra showing in some cases, if it's short enough.
Mm.
This is why kids' movies usually do well when they're shorter, because they get a lot more daytime screenings of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, well, moving on from that joke to some super chat. So Wartooth88 sent in $5. Says we need a real life mutant to decry Peter playing one of its kind on film so he can be fired in any future sequels.
I see what you did there, Wartooth. That's funny.
I like your way of thinking, mate. We do.
He's not a real mutant. Get him off the screen. Actually, he'd probably argue that his genetics are mutated, and that's why he's a dwarf.
Oh,
He'd probably win the argument, damn it.
Yeah. Don't assume his mutation, everyone. The Big Nose for $2 says Disney turns out more films like the penal system.
I didn't know the penal system turned out films.
Jesus. Right.
I guess I missed that joke.
Yeah, I wonder if I'm
unless he means like because they keep letting criminals out. Is that why? Yeah, because it's turned into basically like a turnkey system nowadays.
Yeah. Right, so from one joke off to another, ladies and gents, Taika Waititi has come out and basically said, hey, look, if you want it to be like the comics, read the comic.
What the hell is that picture?
I don't know, but
that's Lady Thor.
What the fuck is wrong with her face? Like, that is not there. There is no way that is fucking what's her face.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, anyway, I think it's just a dodgy image.
It's either CGI or a stand-in, and they caught the right image.
Yep.
So, newly released movie special book of Thor: Love and Thunder, I guess.
Why?
Waititi, I know. I'm like, what? Waititi acknowledged that it was very difficult to find the right tone.
Oh, geez.
It was an ongoing battle because I want my films to be entertaining, and I want a lot of humor in them to poke fun not only at the idea of the space Viking, but also to poke fun at humans, how we bumble our way through life on this planet. The comic run is very serious, and Jane's Thor is especially tense. And so to try to find humor around that stuff, as well as making it an emotional story, was always going to be difficult. And we struggled with that. We wrestled with it throughout the edit, right up until we finished the film. So it goes to show you were editing right up and
this next line.
We did funny scenes about cancer. We did way more tragic scenes about having cancer. Some audiences really loved the humor part of it. Some audiences really want it to be just like the comics. But, I always say, if you want it to be exactly like the comics, read the comic. You've got to change things here and there to make it a film. You actually don't.
Not really. But he's trying to make excuses for one of the biggest points of contention of the film. First of all, you had the snowflakes who were whining that they should have got a trigger warning over the film being about cancer to begin with. And then you had the rest of us.
Was that a thing?
That was actually a fucking thing. And then you had the rest of us who were like,
that.
so you just made a comedy about cancer. Good job. like, and that's
I
what
don't.
he's poking fun at. Yeah. And there's
Yeah,
that
I mean,
great clip where he's sitting there with Hemsworth and he says, "We sacrificed the story for jokes."
Who
YTT said that himself.
who says that?
Wow.
I
It's the
had the
dumbest
clip.
thing I've ever heard. You got the clip like ready to roll right now?
No, I don't, but I used to have the clip. It's hard to
Oh.
hear him say it, but he says it because like Hemsworth's laughing in the background at something else that he had just said before that. He's like, "Yeah, we totally sacrificed the story for jokes."
Was he being serious?
Yeah, because they had said something about how
Clearly.
funny the movie was. Yeah, it was in the interview. It was like, yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
And it's pretty obvious. Like
Wow.
you watch the movie, and like I said,
Oh,
even
yes.
Thor and hers last moments are really horribly awkward, and they don't even get a real final moment together. Like they're thrusted back together in this movie. They don't get any time to kind of patch things up. It's really poorly done. They try to make her sit in a fucking bed, and then she does, it's just the whole movie felt off. And when he says about
Oh, I
struggling to
bloody hate
find the
that
tone,
film.
you can see that in the film. Like they're really struggling to find the tone to this movie when clearly the obvious answer is sure, you make your first end a little bit more humorous like you did Ragnarok, and then you take it serious at the end. That's where you start to go into the serious route when you realize, oh, we're going to lose somebody here, right?
Yeah,
Like,
you can do a tonal shift at that point. There's no issue doing that.
and especially when you got a
God,
great
joke.
villain like Christian Bale was playing as the God Killer. I mean, that's a great villain. I mean, somebody to
Wait,
put up
what?
against Thor,
His performance wasn't great.
No, but I mean the idea of the character, I mean. Like the idea
Yeah.
that you have somebody who can actually kill Thor because he's the only one that we've seen that's kind of like, basically nobody can just hurt him. So like at this point, so
Yeah. Terrible. But also as well, like, if you want it to be like the comics, read the comic. No, mate. That's why this is an ongoing issue with Marvel is they appropriate the comic title, get people excited, and then completely flip-flop on it, and people are instantly left disappointed because people expect it to be something reminiscent to the comic that it's based on. The same with Secret Invasion. They were like, oh, well, it's got nothing to do with Secret Invasion, so who cares? People were like, what? Why? What are you doing?
well, the latest
Bizarre.
did you hear the latest rumor about Secret Invasion? Not to go on a different
Did it
route.
cost $211 million?
No, not just that. Oh, I was thinking of Secret Wars. Secret Wars, the new rumor about Secret Wars.
Oh, reboot.
That is going to be the grounds for the reboot, yeah. Because Hugh Jackman's supposed to play Wolverine up through then. Because as I've said, I knew they were going to have a hard time recasting it.
Oh, dear.
And I wonder, this is the other funky thing. Him and his wife just got divorced after like, what was it, 20-some, 30 years of marriage?
3 decades nearly.
And the whole thing with that was, and the rumor was they're going around that he had promised her the last time he played Wolverine was going to be the last time. And he ended up signing up, supposedly rumored for like 3 more appearances as Wolverine.
Well, there's also a bunch of rumors going around that he's gay as well. So
I don't know about that. That could very well be, but like that's the thing is when he does these X-Men movies and shit, he has to leave for months at a time. That's why she don't like it, I guess, is the rule.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because not only does he have to film, he has to go train and all that business. So
yeah, he's gone. Like his life's ruined basically for 6
months. I think he said once it takes at least 6 months to a year out of his life every time he plays Wolverine, between the training and everything involved.
Yeah, I can believe that. Secret Wars, that'd be crap. That'd be crap as well, I think.
But supposedly this Deadpool movie is supposed to bring a version of Hugh Jackman Wolverine into the MCU by the end of the film, is the rumor, and then the Secret Wars is going to be a reboot of everything.
God. Well, that's their only hope at this point. Is
pretty much. I mean, I'm not against it.
Their only hope.
But I would just say take a couple year break and just reboot things with the Fantastic Four and X-Men, set it in the 60s, and then just work your way up through till the modern day. There you give yourself 10, 20 years worth of shit to work with. Who wouldn't want a 1970s version of the Hulk?
It'd be so good. Be so good.
Or like an 80s version of Iron Man, right? A period piece.
Yeah, I think they should move away from Iron Man now anyway. I think that character's been done now.
Well, I mean, you can even bring Captain back in the Vietnam era like he's supposed to be, because that's the whole point of when they froze him and brought him back, is that he was he fell asleep during World War II. wakes up and Vietnam's going on, and they're two completely different wars, and how he reacts to them.
Yeah, different sort of points behind them,
and the era that he woke up in compared to where he fell asleep. Yeah, like it's a lot more jarring for him in the 70s than it would be now, kind of thing, and outside of the technology, I think.
Yeah. No, you're right there, to be fair. Right, so we've got some super chats to get to. So John Apocalypse for £2 says, thoughts on No One Will Save You, out tomorrow on Hulu, Disney Plus.
Never heard of it.
So that's an alien invasion, house invasion movie, and it looks really good. Actually,
Really?
it looks really good. I watched the trailer. I think it was like last week. I saw the trailer, literally the day it was released, whenever it was. It looks really good. Watch it now. Like, it's not very long. You can put it on like 1.25 speed or something like that. It's
it's 2
bloody
minutes.
good, man.
I got it pulled up right now.
It's a lot better than I thought. It looks so much better than I thought.
Was it like a horror film or just a thriller?
Yeah, straight up horror film. Well, yeah, horror thriller, I guess. I don't know how you watch it. You tell me what you think it looks like.
I'll have to check
Oh yeah, this is definitely a horror film.
Yeah, horror thriller. This guy's a horror thriller. Yeah. It looks bloody great. I was like, oh, okay, because I was like, oh, bloody alien home invasion movie on Hulu. That sounds like wank. And then I watched the trailer and I was like,
20th Century Studios.
I stand corrected. It looks really good. They should release this in theaters. Next month they should release
This is probably one they've had sitting on the shelf for a while.
Absolutely it is. It has to be.
Kind of almost reminds me of what Spielberg was originally going to do for the sequel to Close Encounters. That ended up kind of becoming Gremlins at the end. Because initially he had an idea that ended up becoming E.T. and partially Gremlins, basically, was going to be a sequel to Close Encounters, because they were pressuring him. And he was going to do this idea about a family on a farm terrorized by aliens.
That sounds like Signs, mate.
Yeah, basically, same kind of thing. But this kind of looks like what that would be too, like kind of a farmhouse out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
This looks more like a body invasion kind of movie too, in a way.
Yeah, well, doesn't it look cool? Got my attention anyway.
Man, I would get something more than a box cutter, girl.
Have you seen that? Has it ended yet? Have you seen the end?
No, it's just about over here. The nails are falling out of the.
Wait for it.
Oh,
yeah, now I see the alien. Looks a little CGI, but not too bad.
It looks like there's multiple types of alien.
That could be.
Because how's that big fucker getting in the house?
That actually looks good.
Doesn't it? I'm so glad you like the look of it.
Oh, okay. I see this, like the spider-looking alien thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. I think it looks cool.
Huh. Yeah, I might have to check that out.
I mean, it's for free. You might as well.
Yeah.
On streaming, might as well. So that's apparently out tomorrow, is it? Is that when it is?
Yep.
Oh God, I'm away.
Now is that a movie or is that like a show?
It's a movie.
Okay. All
right. It released in theaters September 19th, apparently.
Oh, it was in theaters?
Briefly, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So like a one day thing.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
And then it's coming tomorrow on Hulu and Disney Plus Star, or Star internationally. So I should be able to get that. So yeah. When was it? So it was written in 2019.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's been sitting on the shelf for a while.
And then in 2021, 20th Century bought the script. Estimated budget.
Okay, so it's not that long. Okay.
No, it's not that old. Estimated budget is $22.8 million, and they shot this April last year.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it looks cool. Like I really like the look of it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check this one out. This looks like a fun horror movie.
Yeah, because I was a bit like Alien Home Invasion, and then I watched it. I was like, oh, yeah, actually, I'm down for this now. This looks good. Daikaiju Gamer for €2 says Gore was an Avengers level threat who's wasted. Yeah, Gore the God Butcher. Yeah, he was. Yeah, you are right. I think anyway.
compared to
think
what we've gotten since. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they also just wasted Christian Bale, quite frankly.
That too.
But
anyhow.
F Bussier 80 for $2 Canadian. Let's hope they make a Punisher War Machine movie. Really? I think they ruined that.
That's too masculine for them. They would definitely ruin that. Too much testosterone in that movie. It would they would not do well with it.
I was just about to say exactly that. Too much testosterone. All the tea up in that. Way too much. Oh dear, excuse me. Yeah, that wouldn't go down very well, I don't think. They just destroy it. Inevitably destroy it. So, never mind. Just as a real quick one, ladies and gents, hit that thumbs up button. Give a subscribe on the second channel down below in the description box. And I will say the next few days, content-wise, will be a little bit potentially skewed for me. So tomorrow I've got to wake up at 5 a.m. and travel to London because I'm going to uni. I know, weird. So I'm going to university. So go back. I've never been to. So go to university tomorrow, and then I'll be back. But I should be able to do some videos when I'm back. There is a video dropping tomorrow, which is a Berserk explained video about Femto. So for those people that have been enjoying that, that drops tomorrow. And then Saturday and Sunday, both I'm in London again as well. I'm traveling back. So Saturday and Sunday, I might just end up doing 2 streams, basically. Sunday, I normally do a stream anyway, but I might do a stream on Saturday night as well. So we'll see whether I've got sort of the inclination to do anything. But yeah, I thought I would just cover that real quick. What's happening in your world, guys? Tom, Nick, what's happening?
Chill
stream tonight. I'm not. I don't even think I'm going to talk Ahsoka tonight. I mean, unless somebody sends in a super chat or something. Like literally, I want to talk about something like positive or some other topic. Like I'm just like so burnt out on trashing on this show.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, I can only talk about it, so much. Plus, we did an impromptu birthday chill stream for Coach last night, and things got heated on there over Ahsoka, and all that. So it's now I'm just like, chill stream tonight, but I don't think I'm going to talk. I think I'm going to talk about completely different things.
Okay. What? Yeah, I can agree with that. What about yourself, Tom? What are you?
Well, I normally have Midnight's Edge After Dark. I'm kind of debating on going to see Expendables 4, but I might just wait on that and just do Midnight's Edge After Dark. So we'll see. Although there's not a shit ton of news, like that's the bigger problem. But yeah.
So yeah, there's no news. I'm just like Kerry dropped in a super chat for €5. Says, "Hello, gentlemen. Have you seen the proof of concept for the new Small Soldiers movie? It looks amazing."
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what this is all about. I think this was just some fan thing.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I think it is. I think.
Yeah, I think they were just trying to. I mean, I think they're actually proposing they want to do it, or something like they're trying to get the rights to it, or something like that. But DreamWorks owns the rights, so.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It looks good. Don't get me wrong. Like, looks great with the Unreal Engine and stuff. But I think that is not. It's not actually. No, it's not actually. It's not a movie or anything. Well, it shouldn't be a movie. They say proof of concept trailer for our next big project at Commodran Studios. Get ready to dive into the extraordinary world of Small Soldiers, an epic toy battle throughout, brought to life in Unreal Engine 5, pushing the boundaries of cinematic storytelling to new heights.
So is this a video game?
Cinematic. No. I think it's what Tom said, basically. It's a...
Unless they picked up the license or something, but I don't know.
I don't think so. It's theirs. Like, it looks good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it looks like something you'd see for like a Netflix series or something like that. Or a Peacock series. I mean, they got over 1 million views on the damn thing, almost 2.
Yeah, that was since June. Unless there's something new. Have I got the right one, Kerry? I don't know if I have.
Yeah, I'm
This
pretty
looks
sure
like the
this
right one.
is the
Yeah.
one, but like from what I knew about it or what I checked into it, is like it was just some proof of concept thing. It's not an actual license thing, but that doesn't mean it won't happen or they aren't trying to get the license or something like that.
It looks kind of funny. I don't know. It looks alright, I guess. Nah. I like the first film. Small Soldiers was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Good movie. Anyway, there you go. Ladies and gents, that about wraps us up here. You got something to plug, ladies and gents? Nick, Tom, any channels you want to plug? What are you plugging
Night's Edge and
nowadays,
Midnight
Nick?
J After Dark.
Yep, and I just got chill stream tonight.
Are you not plugging Nick Talks Entertainment or Echo? But which one are you? What's?
Oh yeah,
what you
yeah.
doing?
Well, I'm once I get a new computer to where I can actually do video content and not have my computer crash on me, I'll be able to start posting stuff over there. But right now, I really can't because anytime I try to export a video, my computer will crash on me. I got one working USB port, but we got a GoFundMe going on. So like I can't be on camera. Like my mouse and keyboard and mic is hooked into a splitter, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to put anything else on there because once this USB port comes out, then nothing's gonna work on this thing. So yeah, it's on its last leg.
Jesus. Dead computer then, mate.
Yeah,
Good.
I spent like $1,600 on this thing like 2 years ago, and it's giving me nothing but problems.
Wow.
Both hard drives have gone out. It overheats.
You want to get an
crashes.
NVMe card, and NVMe's are good. All right, well there you go, ladies and gents. About wraps us up for HCast episode 66. Hope you enjoyed another episode of your favorite podcast. Please do think of some epic comments and questions to bring us next week, because these can sort of roll on a bit longer, a bit more in depth, a bit more conversational when we're getting a bit of a slow news day such as this. So that's kind of where those comments and questions from you guys come into play. They help sort of keep the flow going a little bit deeper and a little bit more expansive onto other things. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a great evening. I will catch you in tomorrow's videos, but take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye, guys.
Peace.